Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. I just wanted to go live, start going live more on YouTube on my channel here to talk about things that are of importance and things that I'm journeying through and learning. My name is Kate. I am plastic-free mermaid. So I'm a mermaid. I'm a water woman. I love surfing and sailing and freediving and all ocean activities. And I also am plastic-free. So what you're hearing right now is this is Lily. She really wants to play fetch. We'll play, Lily. We'll play. Don't worry. But she's gonna likely repeatedly try to play fetch with me throughout this live. So enjoy that. And I'm plastic free. So I gave up single-use plastics 10 years ago, a decade ago, in an effort to just reduce my personal impact on the planet. So yeah, basically I learned that plastic doesn't biodegrade and then it breaks up into the environment instead of breaking down like organic materials. And I decided to just give up plastics. It felt like a responsible thing that I could do, and it's within my my capability as one person, as an individual. Yeah. So, and now I teach people how to give up plastics in their own personal life and businesses. I'm a coach and a consultant, and I lead mermaid retreats and fun stuff like that. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about today is boundaries. So how do we create healthy boundaries? This is something that I realized recently that I never knew how to do. I hadn't set boundaries for myself. I hadn't set boundaries, and I didn't know how to respect other people's boundaries. Lily, no. I'm setting a boundary right now with Lily. No. Okay, we'll play later. And this put me in uncomfortable positions. I was constantly feeling violated and unsafe in my friendships, in business partnerships, in romantic partnerships. It wasn't working for me, and I wasn't sure why. I didn't know why I constantly felt uncomfortable or kind of like sticky or icky, or I didn't know how to negotiate to feel good in a partnership or deal. And it was because I didn't know how to set boundaries, and I hadn't set any boundaries. So those people that I was working with or trying to have a relationship with, didn't know how to honor me and respect me because I wasn't helping them know. I wasn't helping them know what I was comfortable with. I wasn't setting a boundary for them that they could respect. And I also wasn't looking for their boundaries. I wasn't looking for, like, what are you comfortable with? How can I honor and respect your space? So it was just confusing dealing with me. It was confusing working with me. It was confusing being in a relationship with me. I was very sensitive and not very aware of what my needs were. And recently, after working with two beautiful sisters, I was able to tap in a bit more to what was going on for me. So chatting just through a beautiful discussion with my girlfriends Teddy Emerald and Sigrid Tassis. You guys should look them up. They're beautiful coaches. And we were just discussing, talking about the sister wound, healing the feminine wound, healing this sort of distrust between women. Why don't we trust each other innately? So many of us want to work together and want to collaborate, but then when it comes down to it, there's so much competition and judgment and comparison and jealousy and all these different issues. So we're discussing that, and that's a topic for another chat. But what I realized was that, my goodness, we want to work together, but we're not creating healthy boundaries. And for me, the problem with that is that I didn't know first and foremost what I wanted. So I couldn't set a boundary. I couldn't say, stay within this box, because I didn't know what I wanted. In fact, I just wanted to make the other person feel okay. I wanted to please them. I wanted them to feel comfortable and happy and satisfied. So that's what I thought I wanted. I just want you to feel okay. I just want you to feel good. But that doesn't help them honor me. Then I get taken advantage of, because what I really need to be doing is looking after myself first and foremost. And then I can be a better friend, and then I can be a better business partner, and then I can be a better romantic partner. But if I'm not looking after myself, if I'm not putting my needs first and foremost, then I have nothing to give from. So what I have to focus on when I'm creating boundaries, when I'm coming into a new relationship, is deciding, okay, what do I want from this? What am I going to, um, what's my intention for this connection? And then once we get clear on that, once we get clear on what is the outcome, what am I going for with this? Then I can say, hey, working with me looks like this. Hey, working with me, you know, is about like I really want to support you and collaborate and work with you, but I have very limited time. So if you give me a project that takes 30 minutes a week, I can totally manage that. And then they're like, oh great, my stuff will totally work with that. Let's totally work together. This is great. I'm super excited. But if I'm like, yeah, I totally want to work with you. Let's do it. I'm so into it. I love what you're doing. I just want to support you. Love you. Sending you vibes. Then it's like, great. Like, what I really could use is for you to do all this stuff, and I need you to do, and then it becomes overwhelming. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm totally taken advantage of. Meh. And that's not fair to anyone. It's not fair to them because they just didn't realize. They were like, you told me that you were super excited to work with me and wanted to help me. How did I know you only had 30 minutes a week? Lily. So that's kind of what Lily. So that's kind of something that I've been working on. Checking in first and foremost with what it is that I want, what I'm capable of, what I can give, and then vocalizing that. So being honest about it. And it can be tough at first. Like I definitely am so new to this, and I'm not very graceful when I find myself in an uncomfortable situation or a conversation with someone where I'm like, oh wow, I am not sure that I really know what I want from this. And all of a sudden I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable or taken advantage of, or like not valued or violated or whatever. And you're in that and you're just like uncomfortable and sticky. And it's like, first step, recognize that if you feel angry or if you feel uncomfortable or that kind of like icky feeling, that's a boundary that's being crossed. And you maybe haven't consciously set that boundary yet, but something's encroaching on your space that's making you uncomfortable. So take a deep breath, slow down, figure out what that is. If you need to take space, go for a walk, or, I need to call you back. And be honest. Be like, I'm actually feeling a little bit uncomfortable right now. I'm not totally sure why. So do you mind if I call you back? Or be honest and say, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. I'm feeling like, I don't want to say taken advantage of because I don't want to trigger you or put you off. But I'm not sure that I'm clear on what we're talking about or what is required of me. And basically, I'm not sure what I'm really able to give around this. I need more time. And then you're creating a little bit of space for yourself to check in, to leave and be like, okay, what am I able to give here? Romantically, what am I comfortable with? Can we have sleepovers, or can we see other people, or professionally, can you use my name on your stuff? Figuring out what it is you're comfortable with. And then you can go back to that conversation and say, hey, thank you so much for giving me space. I'm ready to set some boundaries. I had to check in with myself to understand a little bit more about what I want or what I'm comfortable with, so that I know how I can work with you. Because it's hard working with other humans. Like, we're complex beings, we're just like a lot going on here, whether it's like mental stuff, like emotional stuff, or just like spiritual stuff, so there's a lot happening, and every day is a new roller coaster for some of us. Okay. So it's super important to just be present to these conversations. And sometimes I try and set an intention before I go into a conversation, especially one that I'm like, this could potentially be triggering, or I'm not really sure what we're going to be talking about today. I'm not really sure what I want from this because I haven't been briefed on the subject matter or the potential collaboration or whatever. So it's like intention. I want to still be friends with this person after this conversation. I want to collaborate and make something really cool. I want to spread awareness about this positive solution or, this issue. And, I have this amount of time that I could spend on this. If it benefits both of us in this way, amazing, kind of create a little bit of an intention around this. And then you can go in and have a little bit more clarity around what working together will feel like. You might not know what it's going to look like, but you know what it feels like. And that's that kind of like, yes, boundaries are respected. Why? Because you know what you want. You're not like, maybe, yeah, sure, whatever. And then it's like, oh, I feel like violated. I don't feel respected because you weren't clear about what you want. You weren't clear about what you're okay with. This blew my mind. This was huge for me. I literally have never, ever set boundaries. That's hectic. I think that I used to be like, gosh, I'm so friendly. And like people just misread my vibe and think I'm like being flirty, but I'm just like a voluptuous, high energy, smiley lady. I'm just a woman with a figure that's out there in the world. I'm like, so wear what she wants. People misread my vibe, but that, yeah, maybe. But what's important for me so that people don't misread my vibe is to be able to set clear boundaries, to be able to be vocal, to be like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with that. Do you mind giving me some space? And, I initially would never, ever have said that in the past because I didn't want to make another person feel uncomfortable, which is such bullshit, right? Why wouldn't, if someone was going to be offended by me setting a boundary, I probably don't want to hang with them anyways. If they were going to be offended by me being like, stay out of my bubble, and they were going to be like, I'm offended, I want to be in that bubble. Like it's probably a good thing for us not to like be BFFs. So this was a huge thing for me to accept and learn. And I'm going to be practicing this for the next eternity, for the rest of my life, trying to get better and better and being patient and compassionate with myself, because initially it won't be graceful. I'll be like, oh my God, know what? I'm feeling a little bit violated here. I'm trying to practice setting boundaries. So, I'm just going to be honest that I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable and I'm not totally sure what I want yet, but I'm just going to practice trying to set boundaries here. And it's going to be awkward. It might be a little uncomfortable, but I'm okay with that because I'm respecting myself. I'm practicing honoring my boundaries. I'm practicing honoring my own self. And this is going to help me relate to all the humans and all the people out in the world. I don't have to just sit back and be like, I have to do all this on my own anymore. No, I can work with other people. I can collaborate. It's all possible now. Now that I know how to set boundaries. But before, I was fucked. I didn't know how to set boundaries, so I got hurt all the time. So exhausting. Just really, really exhausting. But it doesn't have to be that way. So setting boundaries is also really important because it allows us to step into our power. So instead of being like, you hurt me, or like, you made me feel this way, or you did this, it's like, I am okay with this. I feel comfortable with this. That's really that's coming from power. You get to say what you want and other people get to respect it. It's a beautiful thing. Instead of, yeah, totally. Yeah. Whatever you want. Yeah. And then I really feel hurt by you. Like, that's just such a disgusting interaction. It doesn't feel good for anyone. So I'm super grateful to be practicing boundaries, taking time away when I'm not sure what I want to get clear with what I want. And then, and then no matter how ungraceful it is, just being honest, owning the truth of how you're feeling and sharing that. And then coming from a place, feeling empowered as you share what you're comfortable with and what your boundaries are. And that is, that's the way, that's moving forward. That's the beauty of collaboration and connection, conscious collaboration and connection, when we are able to respect each other's boundaries and that we welcome that. We welcome that openness and just clarity around what it takes to work together. So yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. It's really exciting to be working through all of this stuff and learning and growing, and grateful to share. Hope you have a great night. I'm going to play some Fetch with Lily. See you guys, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a little bit more of the spiritual stuff because it's all connected. The connecting back to nature, quitting plastics connects us back to nature, connects us back to earth. Growing food, eating more fruits and vegetables, more whole foods that aren't packaged in plastics, making our own body products from oils and herbs and flower extracts. And, it's connecting us back to nature. And the importance of that is that connects us back to ourselves too, because we are nature. We are part of nature. We are part of this gigantic ecosystem and a part of these sub ecosystems, you know, where we live and where we have waste and where we eat food, etc. So connecting back to nature, connecting back to ourself and our part in this natural process, and connecting to our spiritual journey. So breathing, you know, this is the oneness that connects us all. And the more connected to spirit we live, the more in tune with our intuition, and the more rich and fulfilled our life is, because we're in tune with nature, we're in tune with spirit. And it's just harmony, and it's bliss, and it's effortless because we just surrender to flow. All right. Hope you have a beautiful evening. Feel free to comment if you think it's a bit woo-woo. Totally open to that, hearing about that. And yeah, love you.